basically someone living outside of the EU, looking to, kind of move or, get a job in the EU. Yeah, do you kind of really have any advice on the best way to go about doing that?
Yeah, so it's quite a tricky one. Like you say, it's quite individual. So what I found with organizations, okay, so a lot of them aren't set up to offer sponsorship, and it's not clear, right, when you apply for a role whether they can offer sponsorship or not.
Yeah.
One way that you are able to check that is there is a list on the government website of companies in the UK that are able to offer sponsorship, because they have to apply to the government to be able to offer sponsorship licenses. Okay. So that's a really good way to kind of quickly cross-check, okay, can this company actually offer sponsorship? And that's kind of dealing with that, first immediate potential blocker. What I would say as well, anecdotally, is I find, and again, this is quite difficult if you are requiring sponsorship, but a lot of organizations are looking for people to have already relocated to the UK. For better or for worse, whatever the reasoning is, that's what tends to be the situation. Is a lot of the time they're like, they want someone to have already relocated to the UK. Now, that is a little bit of a problem if you are looking for sponsorship from a particular organization. I don't have any solution to that. That's just sometimes what the feedback is. Those are the kind of main things. For this particular question, it was a little bit around the first screening round, and not getting a chance to go through the next round. So focusing on that, I would say, we ask for feedback. You're obviously doing something right, because your CV is getting through that first stage. So CV suggests that your CV is not an issue. So it'd be good to understand a little bit more about where that problem is in the first stage. Is it the practicalities of needing sponsorship, or is it something about how you are, talking or expressing yourself in an interview that's just not going quite rightly? And again, that's quite an individual subject, so it might be quite difficult to cover. What I would say is kind of going back to one of the first questions, so thinking about, that STAR approach, I saying I instead of we, thinking about the kind of quantitative data storytelling, getting active in the community as well. Again, lots of roles are advertised, but sometimes it is a case of knowing someone, for better or for worse.